The new Newwada Pop Report update is here. With it, we get numbers going all the way through December up to March. 3 new months of data added to the Pop Reports. How many games are graded and what are people grading? We still do not have very important consoles like PS3, DS, and Switch. Those are very likely coming with the next Pop Report update, probably in another 3 months or so. As soon as we get them, we'll do a full analytical breakdown as well. Every single spreadsheet I have made on the Pop Reports is available for you guys to look at, download, manipulate the data however you want. They'll be pinned at the top of the comment section. You can see the old March 1st Pop Report, the August Pop Report. You can see sealed breakdowns on some of the consoles that I've done it for. There's a lot of data in these Pop Reports. Hopefully they help you out with your own collecting. So say thank you to every single patron who helps support the channel as well as the YouTube members. I can't make videos like this without your guys' help. Subscribe if you're not already, and let's look at the new Newwada data here. In a nutshell, the data shows that grading games continues to die in popularity, at least with WATA games. If we look at some of the most popular consoles, PS2, we had under 500 new games, 360, just over 300. NES only had 250 new games added over the 3-month span, which is only 83 new NES games graded with WATA per month. Now, these Pop Reports also do have crossovers being taken out or any other data changes, so if a WATA case was destroyed or changed for any reason, WATA is also subtracting those from the Pop Reports. That's why over here with newly graded CIB games, you can see that Game Boy actually went down by 16 games over the course of the last 3 months. Lots of people were crossing over complete in-box Pokemon games in the 7.5 to 8.5 range. I assume either just resubmitting for another grade or CGC crossovers, which we will talk about CGC as well. We have some unofficial CGC Pop Report numbers that we're also going to look at. Going back to sealed games, even Super Nintendo is only doing 50 a month right now, GameCube 46, Nintendo Wii is basically dead with only 15 new games added in the past 3 months. And if we look at the actual year-over-year numbers for NES, Super Nintendo, and N64, it shows much of the same trend that people just aren't submitting games. From March to August 2022, NES was seeing 217. Then from August to December, that dropped down to 181 per month. And now from December to March 2023, we're looking at 83 a month. Super Nintendo's down to 50 games per month now from December to March versus 127 from back in March 2022. N64, the exact same story. The volume has basically cut in half. With complete in-box games, I had talked that we might see an influx of new CIB hitting the market. That is definitely not happening yet. NES actually did have a decent amount. 157 new games did add to the Pop Report. Otherwise, Super Nintendo, N64, they did absolutely nothing. Averaging 12 and 11 respectively over that 3-month span. It is fully still possible that people are getting their CIB orders together, sending them out. The price drop is still pretty recent, so I don't know if we should overreact to that data yet. But if you have mint complete in-box games, and I said this when I did my full complete in-box video breakdown that you can check out, if you have mint CIB games, there's still a lot of opportunity to get them graded now, WATA or CGC, and put them on the market. There's still a ton of opportunity to be early with this, and some of these early CIB games are selling very strong. So what is going on here? Is this just a WATA thing? Is no one just submitting games to WATA anymore? Is everyone sick of them? Is this a graded games thing in general? Is no one grading games anymore? Obviously, the prices have been falling, the market has been falling, the market has been shrinking for the past year and a half now. So when we talk about what is worth sending in, there are by far much less games that are technically worth sending in, and given that there's not this euphoric reselling speculation taking place, a lot of people also probably don't feel a necessity to send in everything to get graded anymore. During the hype boom period, I had the most random of people sending me messages, should I get this graded, should I get that graded? People truly were sending in anything. Now, 2023, you can see just how selective people are being with their submissions. And when we do talk about some of these more vintage consoles, NES, Super Nintendo especially, we are going to get to a place where there's simply not going to be as many of these games, premium titles, to send in, period. Even right now, finding great condition raw Super Nintendo, great condition raw NES is not easy. Of course, with newer stuff, PS2, 360, we're still going to see a ton of these games out there. The biggest thing with the games for these types of consoles isn't that they're rare to find. A lot of people still talk like, oh, Pop 2 Xbox 360 game or a Pop 5 Wii U game. That is essentially irrelevant. The games are fully out there. Everyone is aware they are out there. Mint condition copies are still going to be hard to come by, even on PS2 Xbox 360. But if we're just talking about sending in your 9.4s, 9.6s, A seal ratings, they are absolutely out there. I do assume we're going to continue to see a trend of these newer gen consoles being the most commonly submitted games moving forward. And maybe everyone is just sick of using WATA games. Maybe it is just a WATA issue. So let's go ahead and we can look at the unofficial CGC Pop Reports courtesy of Gamerstonks.com. It's fully free to log on to the Gamerstonks website. You can look at the CGC Pop Reports. You can see what they've graded so far. But since they are unofficial numbers, there's always room for error with these counts. But if we look at the 3-month period going from January to April with CGC's numbers versus WATA going from December to March, well, first of all, you can see that CGC has already graded 2,000 Switch games. So if you're looking to pick up Switch games, if you're FOMO about getting graded Switch, you are going to have numerous opportunities. I'm going to make a full video talking about Switch games soon, because there is a ton of value in them right now, despite how common they are going to be. But the big thing with these pops is that the averages per month of submissions, you can see that out of these consoles, some of the most popular consoles to submit for across both companies, CGC is on average getting more submissions per month. NES is as high as 160 more per month, with PS2 being 117 per month. Of course, CGC definitely has that new car smell. There was a ton of people waiting to submit to CGC. Frankly, it would be more surprising if CGC's current numbers weren't higher than WATA games. But these numbers do help to show that there is still volume out there. There are still games people want to send in that are worth sending in that aren't necessarily being sent to WATA anymore. And that's the big thing now, where we enter into a world with 3 main grading companies and we only have 1 fully published pop report. As CGC continues to grade more games, as they continue to gain market relevance, their pop reports become more and more relevant. I really do hope CGC and VGA publish their pop reports soon so we can see the whole picture of the graded games landscape right now. Talking again about why the WATA numbers are going down so much month over month, especially with the December to March update, WATA has announced the new cases are coming. I'm pretty sure it's the end of April you can start submitting for the new cases, and they're going to be rolled out in May. We're still waiting for the official full reveal of the cases. I'll cover it all. We'll make a video once it happens. But with the new cases, they did announce that back in October, November. So for anyone who's excited about the new cases, if you wanted to submit with the new cases, all of a sudden you had to hold back all of your supply from WATA games. So not only do we have VGA and CGC who are undoubtedly siphoning customers away from WATA games now, we also have to consider anyone who wanted to submit with WATA and get the new cases purposely holding back their supply and waiting to submit. If they are fully going to swap to a new case to the point where they're going to call the old case the legacy design, I can only assume they're going to have a phase out plan, and at some point that old WATA case design will no longer exist. I don't love the old WATA case as is, so of course I'm going to wait for the new case, right? So with the submission numbers here going down from December to March, that also could be just WATA sabotaging themselves by putting out news too early. But the main points of this analysis are that the WATA numbers continue to drop, while at the same time the CGC numbers are higher on average, but we don't know if the CGC numbers are also going to drop now into the future. Are CGC's numbers going to taper off the same way WATA's have? And then for anyone wondering, so a year of data, has it actually changed how things break down now with NES, Super Nintendo, N64? And perhaps the most surprising part is that the average grade now in 2023 is actually higher than the average grade was in 2022. So like I said, there still is mint stuff out there, right? People are still submitting 9.4s and 9.6s. You can see that those are the 2 most added numbers to the pop report over the past year. 9.4 NES and 9.6 NES. And looking at the actual distributions of the grades, there's nothing more substantial than about a 0.5% movement on any given grade distribution. 9.6 almost did go up by a full percent. That is the most significant move across all of the averages here. But otherwise, there just isn't enough volume to move the pop reports anymore. And whether or not WATA has different grading standards, we've all heard anecdotally that seal grades are being much harsher now, right? Since they moved to California. It's quite possible that maybe box grades are being treated a little bit easier, but it's almost fully impossible to make any kind of assertion like that because there's just too many variables. It would be just as likely for me to say everyone is sending in mint stuff and WATA is actually grading harder. Maybe we should have more 9.8s on the pop report. So outside of unanimous anecdotes from people, kind of impossible to make any kind of claim like that. But these are the overall numbers. I want you guys to share anything you've seen on the pop report for individual games. At this point, it's kind of impossible for me to give a game-by-game analysis, so please, if you've looked at the pop reports, if you noticed something, leave it down in the comment section. Also, please do let me know why you think the submission volume is so low. Are people sick of WATA games? Are people just waiting for the new cases? Is CGC going to take over? Let me know what you guys think. Hit the like button before we go, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.